All right, Delhi Health Minister Satyendra Jain was sent to ED custody till the 9th of June today in a money laundering case. Times Now has accessed ED's remand application in which the central agency has alleged that Jain transferred cash to a Kolkata-based entry operator to get accommodation entries for companies owned and controlled by him. The agency further says that the amount was then used by Jain to purchase agricultural land. As per the ED, shell companies owned by Jain laundered money to the tune of 4.63 crore rupees when he was a minister and 11.78 crore rupees when he wasn't one. Now this arrest has sparked a war of words. The BJP protested against the Aam Aadmi Party and more specifically said that the party which came to power on the basis of an anti-corruption campaign should walk the talk and should sack the minister. However, the CM in the evening today threw his weight behind the health minister and said that he is the most patriotic person and the charges against him are fake.
आज सवाल सिर्फ इतना है कि अरविंद केजरीवाल जो हमेशा ईमानदारी और भ्रष्टाचार के खिलाफ लड़ने की बड़ी-बड़ी बातें करते हैं, क्या आज वो एक व्यक्ति जिस पर इतना बड़ा आरोप भ्रष्टाचार का लगा हुआ है, जिसकी गिरफ्तारी हुई है, उसे मंत्री बनाए रखेंगे या उसका इस्तीफा लेंगे और उन्हें बर्खास्त करेंगे?
मैंने सत्येंद्र जैन के सारे कागज खुद देखे हैं। पढ़ा लिखा आदमी हूं, कानून की भी बहुत समझ है। इनके ऊपर लगाए गए सारे आरोप फर्जी हैं। पूरा का पूरा मामला फर्जी है। केवल राजनीति की वजह से उन्हें गिरफ्तार किया गया है। अगर उनके मामले में 1% की भी सच्चाई होती तो मैं खुद ही कब का उनके खिलाफ सख्त एक्शन ले चुका होता। सत्येंद्र जैन देशभक्त है, कट्टर ईमानदार है, बेहद साहसी है। ऐसी जेलें उनके साहस और जज्बे को और मजबूत करेंगी।
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Dr. Sumansi Raman and Manasvi Thapar, both political analysts, join us along with Tushar Gupta, senior editor at Swaraj, Amit Malviya, spokesperson of the BJP. Is this the Himachal effect? Because the Aam Aadmi Party is saying a patriotic man is today in jail because you're scared for Himachal Pradesh. Amit Malviya.
No, Padmaja, I think it's quite laughable because the Aam Aadmi Party's entire Himachal unit joined the BJP a month and a half ago. Maybe the Aam Aadmi Party does not know as yet that the ground underneath them has slipped. But what I find very intriguing is that Arvind Kejriwal is paranoid. He came out twice today in the media to defend Satyendra Jain. Does the corruption trail lead to Arvind Kejriwal? What is he so worried about? And I just heard him say कि सत्येंद्र बहुत साहसी है। सत्येंद्र साहसी हो सकता है, 10 दिन जेल में निकाल देंगे, लेकिन अरविंद केजरीवाल का कहां चला गया? इतना घबराए हुए क्यों लग रहे थे? अब पेपर्स देख लिए हैं, सब ठीक है। इज ही द जज, जूरी एंड एग्जीक्यूशनर? हमारे देश में एजेंसीज हैं, हमारे देश में न्यायपालिका है, कानून व्यवस्था है। उसके आधार पर तय होगा कि कौन भ्रष्ट है या फिर अरविंद केजरीवाल सर्टिफिकेट बांटेंगे।
ओके, डॉक्टर
अरविंद केजरीवाल की पूरी पार्टी ऊपर से नीचे तक भ्रष्ट है। अभी पंजाब में 2 महीने हुए नहीं सरकार बने हुए, उनका मंत्री भ्रष्टाचार करते हुए पकड़ा गया। तमाम तरक्की की चीजें दिल्ली में चल रही हैं। द करप्शन इज डीप रूटेड इन पंजाब एंड दिल्ली।
ऑलराइट, दैट डॉक्टर सुमंसी रमन रिस्पॉन्ड टू दैट।
Let me finish this. What is very intriguing is that Arvind Kejriwal felt desperate to come out and defend Satyendra Jain twice. इतना डर क्यों लग रहा है केजरीवाल को?
ओके, डॉक्टर रमन,
पैसे के तार केजरीवाल तक जा रहे हैं क्या?
Padmaja, first of all, over the last 6-7 years, 140 plus cases have been filed against Aam Aadmi Party leaders, out of which around 73 had been decided as of a year ago. I don't know the latest numbers. Out of 73 cases that had been decided, 72 ended in acquittals. So clearly there has been only one conviction, and that conviction again was for causing some violence against the police or something. But basically the remaining cases, there are about 39 or 40 which are still pending in court. But almost there is an overwhelming amount of evidence to say that cases are being foisted against the Aam Aadmi Party leaders, including 21.
Not true.
Now, the point is, no, this is a fact. I mean, you can...
Convenient data. You don't even have data. You're just making up something and making an argument. But all I want to say is that you're not factually correct.
One minute. Yesterday, Mr. Sanjay Singh, the spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, mentioned this. In fact, he said hundreds. I am at least being conservative and giving a number of 140, which has been quoted extensively by the media also. You are welcome to look it up. Now, the second point is that Mr. Jain has been summoned 7 times earlier, right? And each of those times, the ED has not found it necessary to arrest him. Further, he has categorically said that he has resigned from those companies in 2013, and these transactions pertain to 2015-16 thereabouts.
Dr. Aman, before you go into the technicality of the particular case about Satyendra Jain, can I just ask you a quick question? The same confidence which Mr. Kejriwal has in Satyendra Jain, why doesn't he have in Vijay Singla?
Look, Vijay Singla...
I mean, how did he decide that Satyendra Jain's case is a witch hunt, but Vijay Singla is corrupt before even the case continues against him? Why was he sacked?
Simply because Vijay Singla was a member of the Aam Aadmi Party and a minister in the Aam Aadmi Party government, and he was outed by the Aam Aadmi Party chief minister. So
then why did he give him a ticket?
Look, something happened after the election.
So he became corrupt in the last 3 months?
Look, I do not know when he became corrupt, but the point is, once the evidence was placed before Mr. Kejriwal...
So essentially you were saying he became corrupt after he joined the Aam Aadmi Party and fought the elections. Before that he was an upstanding man. When he joined he was a great guy. Then he joined the Aam Aadmi Party and turned corrupt. And then you sacked him.
If you are in politics, it is very likely, more likely than not, that you are corrupt. That is the fact in this country.
That's very uncharitable of you. Why would you say that?
More likely than not. Because of simply the system, the way politics is structured.
So essentially you are saying that Mr. Kejriwal is himself corrupt because he's in politics. Then why does he get to sack Mr. Singla?
Look, no party, 1 minute sir, 1 minute sir. No party in this country can claim to be 100% in the clear. There are, whether it is Aam Aadmi Party or some other party, sir.
Then, okay, so then if everyone is corrupt, then why does Mr. Singla get sacked and Mr. Jain doesn't get sacked? Which brings back to the question asked by Amit Malviya. Is there a reason why Satyendra Jain gets the backing, but Singla doesn't?
Because Mr. Satyendar Jain has been given a virtual clean sheet by the CBI.
How?
Mr. Jain has been...
How did he get a clean sheet from the CBI? When did he get a clean sheet? Hold on.
1 second.
When did he get a clean sheet from the CBI?
1 minute. Yes. When did this happen? This happened when the people who took over that company or were directors when this particular transaction is alleged to have happened in 2015 or 16 have themselves told the court, yes, this was done by us. It had nothing to do with Satyendra Jain. Now, clearly, the point is Mr. Jain has been appointed as the election in charge for Himachal Pradesh.
Sir, first of all, I still am yet to wrap my head around this clean chit, this purported clean chit that you speak of.
There is no clean
Let's
chit.
get more. I have not
proceeded.
And I can safely say I have read most documents. I have not come across such a clean chit. Can Tushar Gupta elaborate on that? What is this clean chit that Dr. Raman has found? Tushar Gupta.
There is no clean chit, Padmaja. The CBI, in a statement just a few hours ago, has made it abundantly clear that no closure report has been filed for Satyendra Jain. He has been given absolutely no clean chit. Has been given no clean chit. This is absolutely fake news by this gentleman here. The second case, even if the CBI is inquiring against him on the allegations being made, where is it written in the law book that the Enforcement Directorate cannot carry out their own investigations? How is it even making any sense what this gentleman is saying? Number three.
So as far as this closure report is concerned, let me make it clear. Because very often in TV debates, obfuscation just gets passed off. Basically, what is being claimed today is that the CBI filed a closure report. CBI indeed filed a closure report, but it was in a different case in which Mr. Satyendra Jain was named as an accused. This case was about the hiring of professionals in PWD in 2016. The case was filed in 2018 and the closure report was filed in the 2018 case. What we are talking about right now is the disproportionate assets case, which is filed on the 24th of August 2017 and charge sheet was filed in December 2018. Two separate cases. In DA case, there is no closure report.
1 minute. I never used the word closure report. I said virtual clean chit because in 3 years,
so how is it a clean chit then?
Because nothing has been done further. You should, if the CBI had filed a charge sheet in 2018, is it not likely that by 2022 at least some action, something should have happened?
But they have not filed the closure report. So what makes you conclude that they are giving a virtual clean chit?
So just a second. Okay. So if you file it, so if you take action, then it's a witch hunt. If you don't take action, it's a clean chit. That seems to be a bit like, you know, heads I win, tails you lose. So if you haven't taken action, then you've given a clean chit. But the moment you take action, it's a witch hunt. That seems to be a little bit of a strange logic, Dr. Raman.
No, Padmaja, look at the convenience here.
No action
look at the convenience here.
It is,
if the CBI takes no action, it's a clean chit. It's an assumed clean chit, not even a virtual clean chit. It's an assumed clean chit. If the allegation is turning out to be
4 years, what prevented them from taking action on a 2016 transaction?
Everyone is corrupt. So either the Aam Aadmi Party claims that no one is corrupt in their party, and if they are corrupt, every politician in India is corrupt. Look at the convenience here.
Okay, now let me come to point number 2, because you know, if you go into the minutiae, we'll be sitting here until tomorrow morning. Let's use a standard which has been set and apply the same standards. So let me come to case study number 2, Manasvi Thapar. We had the case of the nephew of Charanjit Singh Channi being raided before the elections. Mr. Kejriwal 3 months ago on record said, and I quote, he said, the raids show that Mr. Channi is patronizing the sand mafia. Look at the amount of money that has been recovered from his nephew after the raid. But Mr. Channi is not acting against the other ministers who are equally involved. If he doesn't sack them, means he is also involved in the sand mining mafia. So if you don't sack a minister, it shows your culpability. Then standard from Punjab should also apply to Delhi, no?
Absolutely.
Very much. The standard should apply equally everywhere across the party lines, across whoever is in the government. It should not matter. But one thing is very clear, Padmaja ji, what is there in open understanding is that BJP is not against corruption. BJP is anti-Aam Aadmi Party. So this is very clear. How I say that is, when you are a corrupt person, you are the poster boy of Narada scam, you are welcomed in BJP and there is no corruption anymore to you. If you are the master corrupt mind of Maharashtra, you join BJP, you are no more a corrupt person. If you are corrupt, you join BJP, there is a whitewash. For a minute, after 2 years from today, we stand in 2024, Satyendra Jain joins BJP, he will no more be a corrupt person as per the standards applied by BJP across India since 2014. The question here is, what is the ED doing? It's been 8 years. What is the CBI doing? It's been 8 years. You have nothing found till date. What is the snail speed, or this speed is only election to election? आज आप इन्वेस्टिगेशन करेंगे, कल आप भूल जाएंगे, फिर से कोई एक नया इलेक्शन आएगा, तब आपको मुद्दा खड़ा करना है, फिर से आप इन्वेस्टिगेशन करेंगे. तो आर यू जस्ट अ इन्वेस्टिगेशन पार्टी और यू एवर convict someone? It's been more than 100 cases filed against Aam Aadmi Party, 1 conviction, 30 cases filed against
Manasvi Thapar, it doesn't seem like you're a great friend of Satyendra Jain. Why do you want him convicted so quickly? The way you're like, why don't you just go ahead and convict that one person? Convict him.
Give me 30 seconds.
Why are you doing it to Satyendra Jain?
No, this is our country and we need to have closures to think if he's corrupt or Suvendu Adhikari is corrupt or Narayan Ranesh is corrupt, so these people be behind the bars.
Okay, so if 2018 the charge sheet was filed, Amit Malviya, then why is the arrest happening in 2022? What was happening for 4 years?
Look, Padmaja, the charge sheet, if it was filed in 2018 and the arrest has happened in 2022, that clearly shows that there was no witch hunt. that the law has taken its time, the agencies have taken its time, called him 7 times, investigated, got details, and eventually when they found enough proof, have they gone ahead and arrested him? So the vendetta charge, timing, election, targeting Aam Aadmi Party are all out of the window. Because if we wanted to target, if there was vendetta, we could have done it earlier, number one. Number two, there is only one leader in Aam Aadmi Party, that is Arvind Kejriwal. So targeting any of his minions does not make any sense electorally, unless somebody is telling me that Arvind Kejriwal has competition in Aam Aadmi Party. He will be sacked tomorrow morning from Aam Aadmi Party. Point number 2 settled. Point number 3, if Satyendra Jain is corrupt, and if Kejriwal is defending him, and if Satyendra Jain is in judicial custody, and Kejriwal thinks that he is a brave man who will see it through, I want to ask, what is Arvind Kejriwal so paranoid about? Why does not relax? If he has, Satyendra is such a great man as Arvind Kejriwal is making out to be, he'll come out unscathed. The agencies will find nothing against him. The court will find nothing to convict.
Dr. Sumansi Raman.
To all mantles, because at the end of the day, Arvind Kejriwal's own family have been under investigation for fraudulent transactions and for taking privileges from government.
Okay, let Dr. Raman answer.
Yeah. Padmaja, I would like to jog Mr. Malviya's memory about a person called Y.S. Chowdhury. Now this gentleman was a member of parliament and he was the TDP, and Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao, who is a MP from Mr. Malviya's party, raised serious charges of a 6,000 crore scam. These charges were actually, in fact, Mr. Narasimha Rao on the floor of parliament said that the ethics committee should be invoked, and this man's membership should be, taken away and stuff like that. The irony of ironies was that Mr. Chowdhury was also a member of that ethics committee, which shows us where we are as a country. Now the point is, nothing has happened to him. Mr. Malviya can also tell me about the well-known cases of Himanta Biswa Sharma or Narayan Rane or Suvendu Adhikari, where the charges were made by BJP. The charges against these people were not made by opposition, Congress or anybody else. They were made by BJP. So, and there is another gentleman called CM Ramesh. Mr. Y.S. Chowdhury, by the way, was called the Malya of Andhra by Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao. So, look, we are clearly in a situation where cases are dependent on which party affiliation you actually have, and the prosecution will proceed based on where you are actually.
Okay, so essentially might is right. When you are in government, you are going to use against your opponents, Amit Malviya, just like, by the way, the DMK is now doing it in your state against AIDMK. Suddenly, you've got past ministers being dragged off to jail because apparently all the corrupt people and all the violent people and all the people engaging in mob violence are only in the AIDMK. Dr. Sumansi Raman. Anyhow, let Amit Malviya answer that.
Look, Padmaja, the problem is if we act against some, they will question. If some people are being investigated and action is to follow, they will question the timing or the delay of that. So you do it, you are damned. You don't do it, you are damned. Secondly, please understand, every time the people of this country give a mandate to a different political party, it is to ensure that the acts of commission and omission of the previous regime are questioned. And people who indulged in corruption acts are taken to book. There are some parties who use this as a tool of vendetta. There are parties like us which allow agencies to do their job. It might take little longer than expected, but it happens. Now, Sumansi Raman will not say why Chidambaram went to jail. He will not raise that point because the action has
I will raise that point.
No, Mr. Raman, please let me finish my point. You are selective. You see,
no, not at all.
Listen, Mr. Raman.
Was arrested. He is gone to jail, sir. And he is on bail.
Let me make my point. You see,
okay,
you are a very seasoned analyst, Mr. Raman.
What about
okay. I think at this point we are going to descend into into finger pointing. But the simple point is, when we started, it was not about ascertaining innocence or guilt. It was about The whole issue of propriety and standards which the party, the Aam Aadmi Party, has set for itself. Remember, it was not too long ago, 1 month ago, when the Health Minister of Punjab was sacked, to applause from Aam Aadmi Party chief Arvind Kejriwal, who got teary-eyed. Why is it that Satyendra Jain is not held up to the same standards? Think about that. Thanks very much, gentlemen, for having joined me. Thanks for watching.